Ineos ain't flinching. 4 more games, that's what you're going to have to put up with. Not a chance in hell that they are going to sack Ten Hag. Now, in their words, it's counterproductive to sack a manager at this stage of the season and would cause panic. As if there's no panic going on right now in this Manchester United fan base. We are getting slapped left, right and centre all over the place by anyone in this league. And it doesn't matter. Again, the people that are missing out are the fans. Just as we're all renewing our season tickets, I had to make that horrible call today and fork out that amount of money before the end of May, before Manchester United draw the line and just cut us off. We've all had to do it. All this commitment with the unknown around the corner. Oh, this club know how to work it, don't they? They really do know how to wind you up. Like, honestly. More news regarding what's going on with the managerial situation right now. Tuchel is prepped, ready, raring to go. It doesn't matter if we're out of Europe. Tuchel wants this job, according to quite a few sources. Candidates for the managerial role at Manchester United actually concerned about opinions from former Manchester United players. If they're candidates, then you know what you're doing with them, don't you? You're just crossing them off the list. If you can't handle that, and that's a worry for you, that's someone we definitely don't want in at this bleeding football club. My God. Hey, we're getting to all of that and more. Unwanted records, going to go into that as well tonight. Jesus, you want to hear some of these. Wow. Anyway, welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. Hope you're all doing well. Dust is well and truly settled. The aftermath, near enough over. The day after, finished almost. After this show, we can sort of go Netflix and chill a little bit. There is another PR stunt on the way. I'm going to warn you about it now, but it's coming already. The Manchester United PR train is in full swing. I'll let you know what that is as well. But get your comments in, most importantly. Give the video a like and do subscribe if you are tuning in to the channel for the first time. And let's get into it. Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well in the chats. Hope you've managed to get through today okay. We had a good chinwag earlier on. I had a bit of a rant. I got hot under the collar. Just not falling for it. Really not falling for it. I just want to just use off the back of what that show was before and this new PR stunt that's going around. You'll see it all over social media. I know exactly what it is straight away, and I'm not falling for it. I didn't fall for the Ten Hag set-up comment to Sky in the press conference. I didn't fall for the interview with Gary Neville. I'm big in Ten Hag like he's been hard done to. I didn't fall for any of that. And I'm definitely not going to fall for the Lisandro Martinez being out, and that's what's missing, the character in the dressing room and that leadership, that voice, that vocal person in the dress. That's what's missing. Again, going down the road of players missing and why the season has curtailed so much. Oh, I'm sorry, no. We're not falling for that one either. Lisandro Martinez has been ill-disciplined this season as well, going against medical staff and going over to America when he was still in recovery, then come back, not fully fit, out again, rest of the bleeding season, it would seem near enough. So let's not even go down that road. I don't even want to get into it. I think it's a massive PR stunt, which is going to go wrong, and I think most of the fan base will actually see through. No one's falling for it anymore. They're really not. So I'm not going to get into any more details about last night. We're going to talk about what's happening going forward and what we can see happening, talking about the news, which has come about as the day has gone on. Lots of people obviously have started to do a lot of digging around and a lot of questions being asked, getting into United and sauces everywhere. You got some barbecue, you got some sweet chili, some curry sauce there, and good old ketchup on the side. I'm only joking. I'm trying to spin the comedy value out of everything in all of this because we are a bit of a circus right now. The red noses are on and we are a bunch of clowns. That's what this football team is right now. But yes, Sir Jim Ratcliffe straight away. This has come from Chris Hurst from the Times. I know Chris, actually. I know him quite well. I spoke to him quite a lot. And his reports are of Manchester United not really wanting to budge on moving Ten Hag on just yet. It's more like, I'm just going to bring it up now actually and read it to you guys so you know where we're at. Erik Ten Hag will not be Bayern Munich's new manager. They will no longer pursue a move for the Dutchman. Hansi Flick is now a hot candidate for Bayern Munich. That has actually just come through from Christian Folk, Bayern Munich correspondent and well known now with the Bundesliga. That's just come out right now as breaking. Ten Hag is no longer wanted by Bayern Munich. I am not surprised one bit that Ten Hag is not wanted by Bayern Munich. After that sham last night, can you imagine Ten Hag having to deal with that hierarchy at Bayern Munich. Seriously, if you thought former players was an issue at Manchester United, well, they're actually in situ at Bayern Munich, and they call the shots. So, not a chance. Like, I thought it was ludicrous when I seen it. I actually questioned myself at one point, like, are we missing something here? Like, is this convincing us that we're making a mistake with Ten Hag? No, it's just a PR crap. It's a PR. It's come out because they're just completely desperate. Surely, anyway, it looks like that is what is happening now. That's just come out now. Christian Folk has just said that Hansi Flick is now hot favourite to go back to Bayern Munich. Ten Hag is off the table. After watching last night, like we said, we're not really surprised. It was a bit of a long shot anyway for Ten Hag going to Bayern Munich, especially after what they've watched here. He's taken Manchester United to 8th and out of Europe. So why would Bayern Munich want Ten Hag as manager? That's a serious question, and it just is very, very clear to me. Like, he just doesn't have the capability to manage at this top level with the expectation factor. He wants more and more and more time. That you don't get time at a big club. You have to be at the best and at the peak and ready to go with every single scenario that's thrown at you. If you're not, you're out the bleeding door. It's as simple as that. Mr. D reminds me of Ranić. I'm Ten Hag in. I don't know how, Mr. D. I don't know what you're seeing right now. Last night should have been proof enough to you, but you are more than welcome to your opinion, my friend. Everyone here has their say. I'm just talking from my angle and where I see it, and I want you guys to get in the chat and actually give me your opinions. Shoot me down if you want to. I'm really not bothered. I'm not that type of guy. I don't get stressed about it. We're here to talk football, and everyone has their say. Big Ron, Adam, naming them sauces is making me hungry. Get your nugs out. Big nugs. Get your nuggets out, mates. That sounds wrong as well, that. There's a clip waiting to happen. Oi, clowns are nuts clownty. I'm not surprised that Ten Hag, says Jason, has been taken off the list of Bayern Munich. Can't blame Bayern Munich. It will do my head in if Onana is between the sticks on Sunday. After watching Palace goals back, I'm convinced Onana is possibly the worst goalkeeper we have ever had. Geez, the guy is so slow. He was at fault for all 4 for me, David, just to back you up on that one. I'm with you completely. To me, if Ineos is backing him, he would have a new contract on the table. Yes, I agree with that, Jordan. Forget the centre-back problem. Just look at the dreadful signings Erik Ten Hag made. All on display last night, says David. Yes, and yes. Thank you, everyone. Keep your chats and your comments coming in. Obviously, give the video a like as well, guys. So, yeah, Bayern Munich, he's off the table. And no one's surprised, really. That news has just come out right now. No Ten Hag for Bayern Munich. You wouldn't, would you? His level is Eredivisie, clearly. That's where he's known, and that's where he has prospered. Not many Dutch players and managers come out and do well. As like someone said the other day, I don't think there's any Dutch manager that's done well in the Premier League. They've got a reputation of trying to bring their style of football and stubbornness with it that just doesn't marry up to the Premier League and the physicality and everything that the Prem brings. It's a different league altogether. It's an animal, and it will chew you up and spit you out. Just going through the next bits. Erik Ten Hag, this is the bit I was talking about earlier on in terms of the Ten Hag situation. So he's not going to Bayern, we know that. Christian Folks just confirmed that. I think there's a lot of Bayern Munich fans actually relieved right now with that news, looking at that. But another one out from Chris Hurst from The Times says, Erik Ten Hag is expected to remain in charge of Manchester United for Sunday's game against Arsenal. It is also likely that he will be at the helm for the rest of the season, which ends on the 25th of May when United face Manchester City in the FA Cup final. Erik Ten Hag is likely to be sacked at the end of the season, even if Manchester United win the FA Cup. That coming from Sports Pete as well. Where do you go with all of that? 4 more games to enjoy is how I see it. The pain is there until the end of this month. Sorry, we just have to endure it. Deal with it, as Ineos are saying. We are not ready to sack the manager. Counterproductive, and he's no good for anyone right now. It's going to cause panic. The panic is not knowing, I feel, more than anything. Like, I feel more panicking not knowing what's happening. Like, feeling like Ineos don't have a managerial plan and hoping that Ten Hag was going to see out the season at least is a bit of a concern to me. Like, the signs were there early on in the season. Like, he talked about 2024 in that press conference like it was some big trophy that he'd won. Well, the signs were there early on in the season. 2023, you know, the season does cross over 2 years, and we have to count 2023, Eric. Sorry. As much as you want to ignore it, like, we do have to bring it into the conversation. So, them 9 defeats in 2023, and that's not including the Champions League and the Carabao Cup either. Them ones were when the warning signs were there. If Ineos had any sort of idea they were coming into United, and let's not forget, it was Christmas Eve, wasn't it, when United dropped the bombshell of Ineos taking over at Manchester United and it being accepted. And then, basically, it was ratification waiting to happen. So, you looked at it then, and Ineos must have been looking into Manchester United. They must have seen us crashing out of Europe that month as well. Sadly and disappointingly, pathetically actually. They would have seen us go out the Carabao Cup against a poor Newcastle side. The position in the league, like actually when Ineos took over, we were only 4 points away from top four. So I could probably see them going, right, let's just hope he can turn this around. A few players are coming back in the new year. Let's see if what he says is right, and then we can just judge this and take this on into the rest of the season. And hopefully we'll see it through, deal with everything in the summer. There's a lot to do. And they have been hard at work, Ineos, doing all of the right things. Like, honestly, right now, it's like, I want Ten Hag on this week. I know you are going to go, it's a bit gone, it's not going to matter. It just, I said for reasons earlier on, I said I'd love for Ten Hag to go this week, him walk away, and then these players start playing and turn up to a game. And then they will be shown for the fools and the absolute disgrace that they really are. And then everyone can see that the spotlight will be on the players fully. If they don't perform without Ten Hag and it carries on the way it is, then they look crap anyway and they just want rid of because they're not good enough. If they actually did start turning up, then you could see them for what they really are. And I think that is more, I think that's more important, isn't it? But it's not going to happen. He's going to be here till the end of the season. He's going to get, I can only see a few hidings coming. Like teams that, like even Brighton beating Aston Villa the other day, turning a little bit of a corner. That worries me. Last day of the season, Newcastle at home in the week. United playing 2 games in a week against 2 decent oppositions. With the injuries that we've got, do you know what? I'm scared with a fully fit team to face Newcastle and Arsenal and Brighton, in fact, and Manchester City. So yeah, all 4 games. I'm frightened with a fully fit squad to play all 4 of them. Our record against them teams is not good. Us with the injuries and the way that the players are shaping up. Honestly, it's probably going to be the hardest end to a season that we've had to endure in a long time as Manchester United fans. It really is. Can we talk about what people would change with the players we do have available? Maybe we could. I've just got a few more comments to get through on it, Mark. We'll get to the players later on in the show. Tony Callaghan has renewed his membership. Madred 2, thank you very much, Tony. If or when Ten Hag does go, the problem is going to be that we still have all the players from Ole, Van Gaal, Jose, and now Ten Hag. Well, that's the situation I was describing earlier on today. And I know we do 2 shows at different times. Hello to Modern Samurai as well and a few other regulars in the chats. Hope you're all doing fantastic. Thank you for the 100 likes, guys, as well. Everyone's worried about the players that are going to stay. And this is why I said, like, we do 2 times of shows so everyone around the world can watch and get involved in the chat. But what we said earlier on is, like, people just need to realise that if Ten Hag stays, it doesn't guarantee that the players go. We'd all think that was a great fairy tale story, but it's not the case. It doesn't guarantee you anything. And let's be fair, like most of these players now, the contracts are running out, and you've got Ineos with Barada in situ, who is not going to renew anyone's contracts. These players, I feel, have had their asses handed to them in private with the contracts, and that gravy train and that love affair and that protective United bubble is being popped and taken away. Your easy life on Camp Carrington is being rinsed away. That's what's happening, and these players, I feel, I've seen their asses with it. The senior ones, anyway. And you know what ones I'm talking about? The ones that weren't available last night. Not the ones on the pitch. I said this earlier on. Just to clarify, if you did not see the show earlier on, the problem that everybody's got, and what everyone keeps saying, is these players keep throwing managers and managers and managers under the bus. Yes, that's what we're saying. Well, last night you cannot blame that team for that, can you? And that's where Ten Hag came into it for me. Aaron Wan-Bissaka and what? Dalot? That's it, really, in terms of players that have been there long, that we put in that category of players that have thrown managers under the bus over the years. That was it. Everyone else in that team last night was Erik Ten Hag. And if Erik Ten Hag can't make his own players work that he's brought into the football club, what does that tell you about him? Crap. That's what that tells you, and that's how we rounded the show up before. In a nutshell, Ten Hag's team was on the pitch last night, and he could not get anything out of him. You listen to his press conference. It's actually on the channel, the full one. It's a script. He's doing a Hollywood play. By the way, it's not instructions, it's a script. He's doing a new Hollywood blockbuster. And it's called The Demise of a Once Great Side. That's what it is. That's the script that Ten Hag was talking about in that press conference yesterday. They didn't follow the rules. The rules? What are the rules? How to kick a ball. Like, kick the ball straight. And that's you keeping within the rules. We can't keep him within the rules, my God. Oh. And people, I'll keep saying it and I'll keep saying it, and people keep coming back at me in the chat. It's a case of these players are going to go. The next 2 years, we're going to see the back of most of them. 2-year process. We're not going to get rid of them all in one summer. A 2-year process, and we will be rid. By the time that third year comes around, the lucrative third year that Sir Jim Ratcliffe keep talking about it, sorry. What he was talking about in that interview is, I think, the time, realistically, to see the back end of the old regime. That's when it's going to be. I think even Marcus Rashford will be moved on by then. And probably for money with Omar Parada in situ. So we don't have to wait. It seems like a long time. But in Manchester United's years, I think this is going to happen quite quickly. So in 2 years, all of these players are going to be gone. If we'd have said to you it's going to take 2 seasons just to get rid of all of these players that we know are underperforming continuously year in, year out, then I think everyone would have accepted it. And that is what is coming. Like everyone else that we're moaning about this season, they're all Ten Hag players. And they're the ones that he's brought in, and we're in that starting lineup last night. So that is why we're having to go at Ten Hag as well. Does it make sense? Is it clicking in? Hopefully you're all understanding what I'm saying with that. Let's get into the chat and see what you guys are saying. I agree. I think Ten Hag likes a lot of these players. Cup final will be a massacre. Will City beat 12 seconds? I said before, like, the worry is if we go in with the same injuries to the Arsenal game, we're going to get the reversal of the 8-2. If we concede 8 at Old Trafford, can you imagine? Conceding 4 is bad enough. I can see 8 with Arsenal. They will tear us from limb to limb. They're actually a better football inside than City, I think. But I think City have just got absolute match-winning ballers in their side, and that's the difference. I think Arsenal play a better brand of football, and they will run rings around us. It will be easy for Arteta. We aren't that athletic, says Bex. Clear out and rebuild around youth, practically when and if their preferred candidate is not available. That's from Graham. He's talking to someone else, though. Just hope he goes now. Let those poor excuses of footballers get away with it one more time. If Ten Hag went, I keep saying it, I think if Ten Hag goes now, if he walked away, it'd be fantastic. Because then them players would be in the spotlight even more. I keep going with that. Erik Ten Hag stays, then the players stay. If you want change, then he has to go. They both have to go. They both have to go. I'd love to know what Wilcox was thinking watching that last night. Like, the report is going straight back to Brailsford, isn't it? And Sir Jim Ratcliffe from Jean-Claude Blanc and Chris Wilcox. It's like, what the hell are we doing? Like, what have we got here? You thought you had a job on your hands before. After watching last night, you really do know that you've got a job on your hands now. At any club, other coaches, players stay. If there is a new manager, fans are trusting this manager who is scared to make substitutions to get rid of players. Sam says, so you think any manager would have done better with these players? No, I just think another manager would have made better signings, because that's what we're talking about last night, Sam. Like, they were all Erik Ten Hag players. We might not have had that team if another manager was in. These are Ten Hag's players that are on the pitch last night, and he's failed with them. So, yeah, go figure. Like, you took Bruno Fernandes out of that side last night, and that midfield fell apart. That is the only one, for me, guaranteed player that Ten Hag plays that isn't his. That's the one guarantee, and probably Rashford if he had the chance. Everyone else will be his players. So, in terms of answering the question, you think another manager would have done better with these players? Well, they're not another manager's players. Ten Hag brought these in. It's his fault. City B team would hand us our arse too. Anyone right now fancies our chances against us? Lance says Van Dijk and Fabinho was out for Liverpool, and Klopp couldn't make top 4 last season. Erik Ten Hag had 65 injuries and played his strongest team twice for the season. We shouldn't be at 6 or 8. I don't understand that one. I don't understand it. But thanks for the message anyway, mate. Can't wait until next season with new structure at club. With all the new staff appointed, new signings, it should be exciting. Yeah, Cal, we've got to look forward to that. A completely new regime and a completely different look. Like, you only have to go. If I was to ask everyone in the chat, like, who are them players? Them players that we're all talking about, the ones that keep destroying managers. I guarantee you, on everyone's list, you're going to have the likes of Marcus Rashford, Anthony Martial, probably Harry Maguire, McTominay, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, all of these types of players. Like, looking at all of their contracts all coming to an end. The likes of Brandon Williams, contract ending, Martial, contract ending. There's a lot of players that are going to leave no matter what happens with the manager. So don't get too concerned if Ten Hag goes. What will happen to the players? We got a super chat in from Montage says, if you think these are Ten Hag players, you're 100% wrong. I'm sure he bought them, mate. They are Ten Hag players. Go through the list of players last night. That's what we're talking about. Oh, God, some people are crazy. Thanks for the super chat, buddy. I don't really want to get into the game again last night. I know a lot of people are catching up and didn't see the show earlier on, but we're here to talk about what actually goes on now from this point. Ten Hag is done as Manchester United manager. I think we can all safely say that. The noise is coming out from the other side, like, yeah, Bayern Munich don't want Ten Hag, but Tuchel wants to come to Manchester United. That has been said and has gone around all media today. Even if Manchester United are not in Europe, Tuchel would still want to come to Manchester United. So straight away, that's a manager who is at that next level. I'd say 2 levels above Erik Ten Hag at least, in my opinion. You guys may differ. I know a few of you will, but just let's go along with it for now. He's willing to come into Manchester United. If he's willing to come into Manchester United, and these stories are right, and he knows that we're not in Europe, then there's a manager that you want. He wants to turn Manchester United around and is going to be convinced by this project that Ineos are building. So they're starting from scratch. We've got no Europe. We're having to get rid of the whole squad near enough and re-go from scratch. And you've got a manager of that level that wants to come in and get involved in that. You grab him with both hands and say, let's go. That's what you do. Don't want Chelsea flop. Won the Champions League, mate. People rather keep Ten Hag over Tuchel. Absolutely baffles me. It really does. I see we have some delusional fans left still. There's going to be lots of... This is time of the season now. I expect this. There's going to be a lot of arguments. There's going to be a lot of disagreements amongst the fans. Not everybody's going to be happy with whatever decision gets made, whether it's Ten Hag leaving in the first place, whoever comes in. There's going to be people that are not happy with it. And this right now is... Welcome to Manchester United, Ineos. This is your moment. You've had all the niceties. You've done all of the groundwork perfectly well. But the real work starts on the 26th of May. The day after that cup final, all eyes on that yellow bar at the bottom of Sky, Twitter, every single social media, waiting for that news and that announcement. That's where everything starts for Ineos. That day will be the biggest day at Manchester United and will be the biggest day in this club's history over the last, 30, 40 years? That's how important this is. I was talking with someone earlier on, another United fan, well connected with the football club. It's like, what happens if Ineos don't succeed? And my answer to that was, I think we're finished. For it to actually work again for United, it would probably take relegation to get rid of the Glazers in the first place. And if Ineos do not turn it around, then we are stuck. We can only go further backwards from this point. We can. Dan says, Tuchel sacked by PSG, Chelsea and Bayern. Come on, Di Matteo won the Champions League. Shall we get him? Tuchel sacked. Well, Ten Hag's going to be sacked. Who else do you want to bring in? Anyone else who's not been sacked? Managers get sacked. Managers leave clubs. What have you got to say? He's won trophies. Look at the hierarchies of all of them clubs that you just mentioned. Think about it. If you don't think that Thomas Tuchel is right for Manchester United, that's fine. It is. Everyone's got a managerial opinion. But you can't say it and then don't come back with another manager or another option. It's no point in just saying he's useless. Just because he was sacked by a few clubs that were run badly. Let's be fair. Like PSG and Chelsea, you wouldn't put them as well-run football clubs with everything there in place for the manager, would you? I would class Tuchel as an elite manager, well in the mix, says Daz Salford. Does he want United or just paper talk? He does want United. That's come from some serious media outlets as well, Liam, so he is wanting it. I wouldn't trust Eric Ten Hag to open a packet of crisps, says Jan. Richie Club Sport Dyer has been one of the best defenders. Oh, someone's talking about Tuchel's recruitment probably right now if you're bringing Kieran Dyer into it. Or Adam, Ineos as a preferred candidate who is not twerking for his next big payday. Who would that be? Who would your money be on? If the candidate is actually set and everything is in place, they would be pulling off the biggest coup ever in keeping this under wraps. Like Barada was big, but with everything going on right now at the club, there is not a chance in hell that they'll be able to let this actually go under the radar. Surely not. Not for United standards. They cannot keep anything under wraps. Big Jim is now regretting. He said he was from Manchester Failsworth. Do me a favour. He was from Manchester Failsworth. But yeah, I'm saying that because I used to live there. That's where I'm from. Ancelotti was sacked by Bayern, PSG and Chelsea. These clubs don't look at the body of work, just end result. Ferocious. Couldn't have really answered that one any better there. 150 likes. Cheers, everybody. Make sure you keep liking the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you are tuning in for the first time. In the description below, you will see all of our links to our partners. The podcast, the United Couple podcast, is there right at the top, guys. Go and give it a watch. It will take your mind off the football. Another episode with me and Kaz there, talking about everything behind the scenes, football related, working around Manchester United, basically, and football running our lives. Obviously, our SofaScore app is at the bottom right-hand corner of your screen there, guys. Download the app. Get your free best football stats, odds, ratings, everything you need to know in-game and out-game. Rumours, the lot. It is all there, guys. Bottom right-hand corner is your QR code, or there is a link in the description. And thank you again to Haters for all of our press conference coverage. Their channel link is in our bio, in our main description title as well, guys. So go and watch, go and give a click on there. You can get all the Premier League's press conference access from them guys as well. They're helping us out with our Ten Hag access. It has been a bit of a ball so far. 2 epic press conferences so far from the coverage that we've had off them. I don't know why our fan base think this clear-out will only happen under Ten Hag. Personally, I think he's got no bollocks to even clear out the deadwood. It would have been interesting to see, say, Ten Hag did do well and was still in situ at United, who he got rid of. And that was one thing I was sort of hoping that might happen, and was the one thing that was giving me hope and wanting Ten Hag to stay, just to see who he thought was the real letdowns. But you know what? If Ten Hag goes, there's players out on loan that'll be having a bit of a rethink. Like players like Palestra will be coming back. You've also got the likes of Jadon Sancho, who has made it clear now that he just wants nothing to do with Manchester United, even if Ten Hag goes. So at least he's put that one to bed officially. But yeah, man, it is all going to happen now. Like I said, everything Ten Hag wise, Ineos, the real work starts on the 26th of May. That's when all eyes are going to be on Ineos. That's when all eyes are going to be on Manchester United's next move. That announcement of Ten Hag being sacked, that has to come first. Then we're waiting a few days for the appointment of the new manager. It has to be quick. Like Graham said, they have to be ready and already have a target in mind to come into the football club. They have to, because there's no time for Manchester United. Although, without European football, it's going to be a different sort of season for Manchester United. Loads of tickets available for the Newcastle game. Wonder why? Because fans have given up, David. Yeah, I watched the podcast today. It was good. Thank you, Leo. Appreciate that. Boxing Straight talking, saying Ten Hag out. Sick of managers with their crap formations. Inverted wingers and fullbacks. Sod off. Like, just play normal football. Dalot is not good enough to play inverted winger / fullback. He's so far up the bleeding pitch. Oh, I'm going back into the game last night. I promised I wouldn't do it. I'm not. I'm looking forward. In terms of Ten Hag and this season, like the records, like guys, the reading is horrendous. And not only are Manchester United at -3 goal difference, that's not going to get any better over these next few days. We could be finishing the season on minus goal difference. Holy shit, let that sink in. For one, that is pathetic. Most defeats in the Premier League season, we've broke that record this season already. Most shots conceded, that record is broke already. This is all with 4 games to go, by the way, and tough games at that. Most goals conceded in a season, we are going to break that record as well. We are only 2 away from that, and I cannot see United getting 3 clean sheets, in the next few games. Goals scored, we have just beat that. We beat that dull Van Gaal season in 2015-16. That was the record then. My God, that was bad. I think that was 48 or something like that. So we've at least beat that this season. Oh, jeez. By the skin of our teeth. Least points in a Premier League season. We all know what that was. Mr. Ralph Rangnick, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, Michael Carrick. All part of that one. We need to get 5 points out of the next 3 games to be above that. Otherwise, this will officially be the worst season ever, points-wise as well. Yes. And what was we on there? What else was the other one? Yeah, sorry, that was everything. Just checking through the other stats there. So United need 5 more points to make this the to not be taking the crown of the worst ever Premier League season for points. So like you said there, most defeats in the season this season. Most shots conceded this season. Most goals conceded this season. We need 5 points, otherwise we're taking 4 new titles in this season alone in the Premier League. The whole time it has been going, the Premier League, like in its history, this is going to be the worst season on record in so many different ways. And I'm not bringing in the dreaded I word either. We're not even going to use that as an excuse today. Can you change the table to 6th, 7th and 8th and 9th? I believe West Ham could overtake looking at the remaining games. Oh, West Ham are dead. Like they've down tools and on the beach, well and truly. They've got their little umbrellas in their cocktails right now. That's how far along they are on their holidays. They've got the first coat, tan on and everything. Flo with the super chat. Cheers for that, mate. So bring Tuchel in with 2-3 new signings and keep most of the same players because the clear out won't happen completely in one summer for us to be asking for Tuchel's head next year. No, completely wrong. Appreciate the super chat, but just to break that down, Casemiro is going, Lindelof is going, Wan-Bissaka is going, Varane is going, Martial is going, Brandon Williams is going, Tom Heaton's going, Johnny Evans is going, all going. And that's just the start of it. Then you've got everyone else that's already on loan. Greenwood, Sancho, going. 12 at least, mate. That's what's happening this season. I've been told that Casemiro and Varane checked out weeks ago. It looks that way as well, to be honest. Like Casemiro especially. Since Ineos took charge, it has gone completely downhill. These players have known for a while what's coming. You can see it. It's clear as day, isn't it? Like Ineos have come in and they've just gone, forget this. This is not running like this anymore. And that red bubble, I told you, that red protective bubble around all of these players and this high life that they've got, that has been popped, and it's welcome to the real world, United players, and they don't like it. Ten Hag is the unlucky recipient of players seeing their asses and just wanting out of there. That's what it is. Ineos have come in and they've read the right act. It's quite clear. There's no noise. I mean, Samuel Lucker said it the other day. It's the first season ever we had an in-season contract extension at Manchester United for decades. That's crazy. Like, Ineos have just drawn the line. They didn't let Ten Hag make any signings in January. That should have been the first red flag. No players getting contracts. No option for Ten Hag. No contract on the table for him either. Everyone is getting a massive pay cut next season, and wages are going to be slashed if anyone wants to stay at the football club. That money train is gone for these players. It's end of days. Go find somewhere else to earn your money, because you're not going to get it at United. You're not going to be a freeloader anymore. If Tuchel is on board with all of this, I'm taking him. I'm taking him now. If he's happy to deal with this, and Ineos are willing to back him for this next 3 years, in getting rid of these players, proper recruitment, and this all comes down to if Ineos can do their jobs as well. Let's not forget, we could have another manager under pressure in another couple of years if Ineos don't do their job. So a lot of trust has been put in this new structure and this new hierarchy. So let's see. There is news obviously coming out as well that we are looking at bargain basement stuff, as you'd expect, trying to be a bit shrewd and clever in the transfer market, looking at players that are coming to the end of their current deals, things like that. Yeah, we talked about that before. We don't need to get into detail with it, but I think that's what Manchester United will be doing. It's like why the likes of Rabiot have been brought up in conversations. He doesn't really fit the profile of player that Ineos are looking for, to be fair. So I just think we're going to be looking at players that we just don't expect or didn't think of. It's going to be one of them surprise summers, I think. Trevor has just renewed his membership. 4 months a member. Thank you, mate. Love that. Adam, I miss your positivity. Maybe your couple's channel will have it. I'm being fully positive, mate, here. I'm talking about the best things for United going forward. Cheers for that, buddy. Thank you. Big gamble keeping Ten Hag and backing him in the summer. If we get off to a bad start next season, he'll be sacked by Xmas and the usual cycle starts again. I don't think it's happening. That last night was the nail in the coffin for Ten Hag. Well and truly, sledgehammered in to his coffin. Like, everyone was reporting it last night. There was no one letting up on Ten Hag last night at all. Let's see what else we've got in here. If we back Tuchel, we can easily be within the top 3 teams next season. It's possible, says Boxing Straight Talk. I love that positivity. Edison at Atalanta has a 45 million buyout clause. We are looking supposedly at younger, more dynamic players for the midfield. Agile, can get up and down the pitch. Please, if we do go into this summer with a proper recruitment setup, then we need to be looking into injury records as well. Please make that a thing. Like, that has to be happening next season. We cannot be having the same scenario we've got this season with players that we bought with these constant recurring injuries. And do you know what? You can add a goalkeeper. Do you know what? Actually, it'd be interesting to see what Bayern does if Ten Hag gets sacked. I really want to see what Bayern does or what he decides to do with his future. It's not true. The usual cycle. Ineos is in charge of football. No one is going to spend all this money and let the team go to pot. No, Ineos will approach it differently. Maybe one person that was letting up on Erik Ten Hag, Adam. Who was that, Louise? I don't know. We get used to it, Adam. Ten Hag is our manager. Tuchel is a shocking choice. Stay clear. He's like Mourinho, gets sacked everywhere he goes. Like the previous chat said up there as well. So did Ancelotti. Would you take him? Yeah, you would. And yeah, Tuchel, let's not forget, tomorrow night he's in the Champions League semi-final, having already been sacked. And he's still got them players on board to get that far in that big competition. Oh yeah, he's actually won the Champions League and titles in all the other countries he's been in as well. Let it sink in. Is Crystal Palace last game as Manchester United manager? No, it doesn't look like that. I would say, yes, I would get rid of him. That is unforgivable last night. It's just too far. Guys, please give the video a like. Let's get up to that 200 mark before we finish up. That would be fantastic. Thank you. Cheers for all the super chats tonight as well, guys. I'm loving your input into the channel and your comments as well right now, guys. We buy players with HUD injuries records. Then our medical team ends their careers. Richie Club Sport, Mount, Highland and Amrabat all signed injured and must never happen again. Yes, definitely. I know what you mean now, Louise. Yes. Tuchel might just be temporary fix, and that's fine, says Modern Samurai. Is he the man to see us through the first couple of years and then someone else takes over? Anything is possible right now. United Spotlight renewed his membership 6 months. Wowzer. Absolutely epic that. Take Tuchel now. We can't risk another year with Erik Ten Hag. Southgate in, says Daryl. Tuchel or Southgate? That'll sway everyone around a little bit. Make sure you please subscribe to the channel, guys. Do share the video as well. Download our SofaScore app, bottom right hand corner, for all the best football apps out there, completely free. Jump across to Optimally Me there, bringing the doctors to your home, taking the stress out of every queuing up session at the doctors, the pain of waiting for your results, waiting for them appointments. Bring it all to your home, stress free. Follow their simple test process and they will send you your results within 48 hours. Brilliant setup, brilliant company. Glad to be on board with them and part of what they are doing. Use the QR code on the screen there to the left-hand side, guys. Get your discount as well on any of them tests. And go and give them a try. Frank Davison with a super chat. Thank you, Frank. You spot on earlier, that guy on another channel has people brainwashed. Every subscriber should like the show. 40,000 likes would be notified. Yeah, 40,000 likes. That would be nice. At least we can get to 200 tonight, guys. Come on. Give me them 200 likes, people. Let's get at it. Only 5 away. I'm sure we can get it done. Thank you for that, Frank. Love that, mate. Southgate in. I'm serious, guys. Stop laughing then, Daryl, while you're saying it. Adam, I want Thomas Tuchel. He is strict and tough, just like Mourinho, which was desperately needed with these players. The trouble is, will the board back him when the players kick off? What do you think? Well, if the players kick off, the players coming in are all going to be... We're going to have quite a new team within 3 years. It's going to be a completely different look, Manchester United, I think. So I think if he starts bringing his own people in, I think that's where you are. That's where you've got to look at the positive side of things. A different world, proper recruited players that will play for a manager. John Michael, welcome to the Members Club, mate. Really appreciate that. Thank you, and you are more than welcome, guys. In the membership section, please let John know and make him welcome. That's because the bloke on the other channel isn't even a United fan, says Daryl. And he's watching. Guys, that is everything. Thank you so much. Great show again. I'd love to get that completely out of the system today. 2 live shows that I think were needed after last night's debacle. We will be back tomorrow, obviously. 12 o'clock, normal schedule. We will be on TIFO for the watch-along for the Real Madrid Bayern Munich semi-final tomorrow as well, guys. So make sure members are there and watching. I really appreciate all of your input tonight, guys. Thank you so much. You have been epic as always, and I will see you all tomorrow, 12 o'clock sharp. Make sure you give the video a like on your way out. We have gone past the 200 mark, everyone. Thank you very much. Subscribe if you are tuning in for the first time. I'm Adam. This is Forever United TV. You are more than welcome, and I hope to see you all tomorrow. New subscribers and all. Cheers, guys. See you later. Have a great evening.